I will be studying the percentage of service workers that make up national employment in high-income, low-middle income, and low-income countries. A common trend among developed or rapidly developing countries is that we can see a positive correlation between the number of service workers and the overall development of the country's economy and society in terms of prosperity and the Human Development Index, or HDI. According to Deloitte Insights, the United States in 2017 value added in the service producing industries accounted for 78.9% of total value added. This amounted to a total of $13.1 trillion USD and 86.3% of total private employment, representing over 124 million employees. The United States has been a great model for this trend as production has moved overseas where general services and trades have seen a sharp increase in demand, thus proving that more developed countries have indeed a higher demand for services. This is similarly true for European nations. For example, France saw a great period of growth post-World War II that would lead to a shift in economy where the majority of employees are employed in the service industry. However, one thing that did catch my eye and I found very interesting was this trend in lower middle income and low income countries. This trend towards a majority of service-based economy is not always so prevalent. Countries such as the Philippines, Honduras, and Bangladesh have all seen more drastic developments. Honduras caught my eye as a good country to study because it showed incredible potential to almost catch more developed countries of France and the United States in the 1980s. Yet due to political instability, it dropped back to only having 30% of its employed population in some form of a service industry job. Over 70% of people employed in Honduras in 1984 were involved in some form of service. This rise can be attributed to the drastic levels of civil unrest in the country and a shift towards a new form of government as US-backed revolutionaries looked to instill a liberal presidency during the 1980s. This economic uncertainty can be linked to a shift in people's political values and a movement to a democratic government with presidential term limits. This trend lasted only for 4 years until the primary industry of Honduras returned to agriculture, fishing, and forestry in 1980, and only experienced slow growth until 2012, where they experienced a brief period of sharp growth, but have since been on the decline since 2016. Honduras is an unnatural case of this phenomena, yet it is interesting to note that not every country follows a similar path, especially those countries that may not be always perfectly developed. In general, the development of countries and their income levels can be positively correlated to the percentage of employed people involved in the service industry. Thank you.